dropping me off.
Love you too. See you when I get back.
Hi, baby. What's up, everybody? FSC Trucking. Yeah, it's that time of day. Memorial Day weekend for me is basically over. Today is Monday, Memorial Day, and we're getting ready to get out on a road. We've got a load waiting for us at the yard. We got to go pick up. I just got to go tie it down and be ready to rock and roll. This is the first trip that we have Orwell with his brand new shiny set of drive wheels. Those Peterbilt ovals that we bought a while back, sent them out and got polished. Just before last week, we went ahead and installed them on Orwell. I had Chris working on that. My son Sean came to visit for a little bit, which was an unexpected, very happy visit. He just spent a couple days here. Really couldn't take the time off to go do anything, so he just made himself a busybody around here. And that was awesome. So go ahead and check out that video. That's probably a while ago, because that video actually releasing today, and I'm starting to film this video now, so go back and check it out. But this is the first run we've done with the new wheels, and we're going to be happy to do that. However, with that being said, this week coming up, it's going to be really busy. When we get back from this run, I have to go to Ohio, pick up Lydia and Matthew and all their stuff, and then bring it to North Carolina. Now that they're married and everything came through with Matthew for the Marine Corps, now he came up to move her. So now he came to visit in Ohio. We're going to meet him in Ohio and move him. That's a whole nother thing. But that's the other reason we had to get the big trailer ready and move Matt's truck and all that whatnot. It's definitely been a ride. So with that, we're going to get Orwell out, and then we're going to start working on the step deck this week. Or rather, I'm not, Chris will. So we're going to pull the step deck in, so we got to go get it. What I'm going to do right now here is get Orwell fired up. Then we're going to go hitch onto the step deck, get it backed in. Then we're going to bobtail down to the yard, hook onto my trailer, tie down the load, and then haul ass. Because tomorrow we got to be in Montoursville, and on Wednesday we got 2 other drops in New England. Let's go ahead and get this video started. Check out these new wheels on Orwell if you haven't already. What's up, everybody? Steve here. Hey, a while back we did a promo on work shirts for the shop, and unfortunately, but fortunately all at the same time, the work shirts, you guys bought way more than I had originally made in the first order. So when I ordered them, I told them make, say, X amount of shirts. Well, when I released that, it says we're doing on pre-order, they ordered any amount of shirts that I had said. You guys bought way more than that. So we are delayed a little bit in the fact that we had to order, effectively double the order. So the second order of blank shirts had to be ordered and shipped in. At the time of filming this right now, they should be done in about a week-ish. Then I have to get them, bring them in, and ship them out. So there's a little delay in that, but thank you guys for ordering so damn many. I'm assuming by the first week of June, we should have all the blanks here, the printing done. I've taken delivery, and then we'll ship them right out as soon as we get them. Thank you guys for the order. I wish it was a little bit faster, but I'm trying to work with a local merch company around here that has always taken care of us. So maybe if I went somewhere else, it'd be a little faster. Maybe if I ordered enough of them, it would have been done by now too. However, I had no idea the appetite for the merch you guys had. So with that, thank you very much. Be patient. We will be getting them out as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a great day. Actually, it still is. It's flipped around and it's the inside tire because it had a steer tire on it. These tires are Michelin XDN2s in 24.5-inch rim low pro. They don't make them anymore. 24.5 low pro drive tires by Michelin are, as of now, at least unavailable. Michelin still blames COVID. Yeah, I know. With that being said, you can't get them no more. As I had a couple flats and couldn't replace them. I bought steer tires to replace them instead. So, getting the steer tires on the inside forward position. The one on air was replaced with New York, this one in North Carolina. So they're both on the inside position, at least it looks a little bit better. But that rusty wheel still exists in the inside position. Now, I want to determine what I'm going to do with that wheel in the future. Like cut it up, give it away, auction it off for charity. I don't know. Just come up with some creative ideas on what to do with that wheel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, the deck's back there. We're going to go ahead and get it, back it in the shop. We got to get to the yard, tie down the rest of our load, get rolling. Alrighty, boys and girls, step deck's inside. Let me go ahead and show you about it, because you guys probably haven't seen it for quite a long time and forgot really what's going on with it. So there's a lot of new subscribers since then. We'll go ahead and explain. So this step deck I bought brand new in 2006. One of the first things I ever bought brand new when I first started off with Widmeyer Express. On average, you get about 10, maybe 12 years out of cross members with this salty, nasty weather. And you see what the cross members look like. Now, years ago, when we were at the old shop, I cut all of them off, leaving some in just to help keep the trailer's overall dimensions. It turns out, as you can see through the other rail, we'll get there in a minute on the other side, that whole rail, that hole used to have a chicken light in it, but it got real thin. You see right in front of that cross member, just over my finger, you'll see a hole. So that rail's getting thin. So the side rails need replaced. At least one of them do. Yeah, this one does too. See, right over the light, right there. So that's all gonna get cut off. It is a spread axle. That rear axle could close to a tandem to be California and Connecticut legal. And it's been sitting outside for a long time, even after we took it apart. So we are going to try to get this trailer put back together. So far from what I've seen, the frame is much thicker and is in better shape. If there's any issues with it, we can always weld patch panels over it. But the side rails are cheap enough, we could just replace them. Although I could do it in sections, I just don't want to. So originally when this thing started having problems with cross members, we just simply put a plate over where they were starting to buckle. That was a temporary fix. It had the ramp kit installed. That's what these are. So you put the ramps on them. And it worked really good. These cross members I did replace. We simply cut this side rail out, slid them in, and welded them to the frame like they were in the factory, right down up here. They only did them on one side too, believe it or not. But they cut these spaces in there, like I-shaped spaces, and slide them right through. Weld them at the end, and at the frame, and at the frame, and that's how they do it. If you're looking at this right here, you're wondering, well, this has already been primed. Well, to be honest, I just hit it with rattle can primer just to protect it, since it was brand new steel and I knew it was gonna be outside for a while. So what I had already done, I already primed, but I intend on painting it. Originally, we were thinking about painting it blue to match Orwell, but in the future, we're gonna have other trucks, so I'm tending to think we're just gonna go with a standard black or maybe something different, I'm not really sure. But the idea is I was gonna get farm implement paint and repaint the whole thing. But we went and got a needle scaler to get all the rust crud off of it and determine where there's holes, if there's holes. Plan is, while I'm on the road this week, Chris is gonna work the needle scaler on this thing and start looking at how bad the metal actually is. Because sandblasting is one thing, needle scaling is another. You could argue one way or the other, but to be honest, I think needle scaling will punch through any weak metal, as opposed to sandblasting will just uncover the rust and leave the metal thin. So if it's too thin, I believe the needle scaler will pop right through it. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so this is the needle scaler that I had purchased. I got it at Northern Tool. It's an Ingersoll Rand. It's kind of one of those, you don't want the absolute best, but you definitely want middle of the road. So basically it just pulsates these needles in and out, and it'll hammer the absolute crap out of all that crud and nastiness, see? So that's what a needle scaler is, that's what it does. Of course, all the valving, your ABS valve, all your valving, ride leveling, all of that, dump valves for the back, all of that, everything's gonna be replaced, new airbags, new brake chambers, all new hosing, wiring, harness, everything. Only thing that's gonna be reused basically is the frame, and that's basically it, the axles, that kind of whatnot, but now all the tubing, hoses, everything, all gonna be brand new. So we got to get started on this because I would like to start using this trailer again once we get another truck. Also, when the RGN starts needing major work, we can use this while the RGN is down. That way I can continue running while we have this here. So that's the idea. If we have one trailer down, I could pull the other, eventually with other trucks and so on. You know how it goes. We're trying to build up we're trying to build up and grow, but ultimately it starts by fixing what I already have. I already have this trailer. So let's get ahead and fix it up, be done with it. It'll cost me a lot less than a brand new trailer to fix this one, and I already started the job and I have it. It's already paid off, title to me, it's all good. Let's just get ahead and get it done. We can weld, we can shape steel, we know how to replace parts. I got one of the best truck mechanics on planet Earth in Chris right here, and he can do this crap while I'm out on the road. You know, double the work, double the fun, right? But in the end, we're trying to grow. This is step one of how we're gonna do it. Maybe not step one, but this is how we're gonna do it, is start repairing our equipment, trying to keep Chris busy, working, getting that stuff done. I am continuing work on that fifth wheel. Let me show you that quick. So those that are new, we have the old Chapel trailer from TFC Global. And we removed the upper fifth wheel. Now, yeah, it's the fifth wheel's on a truck, they say. Now there's an upper fifth wheel as well. That's where the kingpin comes down. It's an all steel plate riveted to the side sheet. It goes, basically it's the only frame a trailer has from here all the way to the back. So it rivets through these holes to hold it on, and that's all it does. The weight just pushes directly down on it. We took it off and put it all the way over here on the other side of the shop on a bench because, well, that trailer's sitting for 25 to 30 years. Russ has absolutely taken it down to the point where it isn't very good for anything other than a static display. So another one we're trying to resurrect and bring back to where it could be used as a merch wagon. That's the idea. Take it to shows for me and my other YouTube friends to sell merch out of it. The fifth wheel, upper fifth wheel plate I should say, is right here on the other side of the camera. We cut it down and brought it down to size. So basically the way it worked was they put these two pieces of I-beam together. It's one here, one there, and put a flat sheet on the top, on the bottom of the flange of the I-beams. And then they welded the kingpin, or so they thought, to this steel. But apparently it's welded to these cross members. So we cleaned that skin up because that was completely yucky and nasty. If you look at previous videos, you'll see. And then Chris showed me this. That kingpin is a special piece. It was plug welded from the bottom onto that piece of steel on the top. We're going to reverse the process. We're going to lay the steel and plug weld through the steel into this. It's welded not to this plate, it's welded to this cross member. Watch. See? So we're gonna have to re-weld all of this, put new metal, re-weld it, and then cover it with one sheet with a hole cut in it, and at least four holes for plug welds, which will go that way into the front of the trailer. This will be redone and reskinned and put back in the Chapel trailer. And of course that project goes with the Ford CL9000, which is the frame right here that somehow or another, it's just typical of the shops that move around a lot, that turned into the table. I'm so glad that we cleaned up the axles that were over here for us to just pile that nonsense over there too. It is a non-stop thing around here. 1 minute the shop seems empty, and then you back your trailer in and then the shop seems full again. That's just the way it goes. But ultimately we're trying to get a lot of stuff done in one shot as time and money allow. Think about it, I've got a pretty good sized labor bill in Chris, so we're working hard to try to keep him busy and bring the content up so you guys see we're growing and we're pushing and we're working hard. And we're trying to not change the channel, but we're trying to make it so you guys see that in addition to driving Orwell, we're busting our ass here in the shop to improve from where we were. Because think about it, if we're not growing, we're going backwards. And I don't like that idea of being stagnant. So the idea is just keep working, keep pushing, and we're gonna keep doing it. So yeah, we're trying to get that channel, we're trying to grow this channel up big and strong and make it good. So hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, because man, we got a lot of crap going on. We got a lot of cool stuff. Between this trailer, that Ford, cabs right here as you see, we got a lot of crap going on. We got that Peterbilt back there, and of course Orwell we're running. And I'm trying to do so much better than what we have been. For the last handful of years, this channel has simply been based on me driving Orwell. And that's great. but I want to try to grow bigger, and that's the thing, is if I don't start, I'm never going to. So we took one hell of a gamble, and we hired Chris on. And let me tell you, it's been an absolute godsend. The man's a hard worker, he's done great, but man, I want things better. That's why we pushed to get these wheels done like I did. The other rims were fine, there was nothing wrong with them, but I'm trying to grow, make things look better. And it's not a resistance thing. I've been busting chops about that rusty wheel. And yeah, a lot of people's comments, they say a lot of dumb crap about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there and piss off the haters. I didn't do that for them. I did it for me. I did it to try to show we are changing, we are growing, we're trying to make the content better. So please subscribe, come check us out a little bit more. We got a driving vlog to do. Next part, we're gonna go to the yard, tie it down. The video after that will be driving it out there. And that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep on driving Orwell like we always done. We're gonna bring the shop into it as well to show how we keep up Orwell, how we continue to build and work on other trucks and trailers and the things, and show you how FSC trucking will grow up into the next year or 2 or 3. We're trying hard, boys and girls. So with that, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, show the world you like what we got going on here, because man, we're trying hard. You know what, I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty eager to see exactly how it does work. Like, if it actually does do as good as I'm told it will. Brutal on a man's ears. That does a pretty damn good job beating that nonsense off, don't it? Well, that's what it does. I like it. I like it a lot. Alrighty, we're set to ride. Let's jump in Orwell, bobtail down to the yard, hitch on our load, tie it down. To the yard. I wanted to touch base on one other thing real quick. We're on our little detours, construction in downtown Kewaskum. So we're running this real crummy county road. Anyway, I want to touch base on one other thing. I've got a lot of content that I haven't gotten to yet. That some of it is probably months old. But it's all stuff that I've been doing before or while, you know, after I hired Chris. But I've been sprinkling a lot of more modern content in regarding the shop, talking about stuff that we're doing, what's going on currently. So I'm going to be going back and forth a whole lot. With something new and big is happening at the shop, we're going to basically get right to it straight away. One example is we were putting the rims on the truck. We had talked about the second flat tire and the second steer tire that's on there, as opposed to the other tires that are on there. you guys haven't seen that video where I had a flat tire, which should be coming up in the next handful of videos, where I got a flat tire hauling an oversized farm tractor. So that's one of those things where you're going to see back to the past and wonder why that is. Well, the reason is we hired Chris, and I'm trying to show the growth quickly, but I can't abandon all the footage and the cool stuff that I've done prior, if that makes any sense. So I just want to touch base on the fact that the videos are going to kind of go back and forth a bit, and you're not necessarily going to know until you watch, and there's obvious reasons for that. But I wanted to explain why. If you saw this video, you now know why we're doing it that way. The thing with the way I film this channel is that I don't really know what I'm going to do until it's being done. Largely, I set up the cameras and I go, and if something happens, I put it out. If not, then nothing happens, and I have a lot of unused footage. I really can't plan on a lot of content. Now, obviously, I was able to plan around, you know, getting the rims installed on the truck. That was fine. But today was kind of like, all right, what am I going to film? We'll talk about the step deck. We'll talk about tying a load down. We'll talk about the new wheels. And then the next video that I'm going to film is going to end at the yard. Well, this video will end at the yard. And then the next one will begin at the yard. I can plan that. But once I start all 4 cameras to start driving, you have no idea. I have no idea what's going to come of that. I tend to think that the content overwhelmingly stands alone and by itself, meaning that if a video is out of sequence, then it should stand on its own, even if what you saw came after that video. So if you see videos in the future and I got the steel wheels back on with the rusty one, and did that make a flat tire any less flat? Did it make it any less or more convenient? You know, what did it do, you know? How did that work out? So I tend to think each video stands alone, regardless if you see how it ends in the future video or how it played out in the past prior to it. And if that's backwards, I don't really think it matters that much. I think the true fans, the people that really watch intently and follow along and see what's going on, I think they really understand and they get it. There's some people that want it to be more explained, perhaps, but you got to bear in mind, I'm one person. I edit the video, I produce the video, I film the video, I do it 100% all on my own. Now, I'm no longer the only person in the shop, and that truly helps. But as of right now, there have been people that offered to edit video for me. But the expenses are very high right now, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm pushing real hard to grow the channel to offset those expenses. And if that works, great. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to come up with another plan, i.e. another truck, another driver. But we will see how this plays out. So here in a little bit, we'll get to the yard. We'll get back under my trailer, latch on, pull it out, tie the load down, and then get on with my day.